Hey there. Are you worried about hiring a copywriter because you're not sure that they're going to sound like you? Or maybe you've actually already done this. You've invested hundreds, maybe even thousands of dollars on a copywriter and got it back and decided just to shelve it. In this video, I'm going to share with you a foolproof way to make sure your copywriter sounds just like you. Hi, I'm Carrie Price. I'm a brand messaging coach, helping ambitious service-based business owners find and own the words to stand out, be heard, and make your message roar. And if you're at the point in your business where you're looking to hire a copywriter, you're probably worried about what if you get something back and it just doesn't sound like you. It's not something that you would ever write or ever say. And it's a real legitimate problem. Before I dive into this foolproof technique to make sure that your copywriter sounds like you every single time, let me just say that I am definitely in the camp of believing you should not outsource your copywriting in the beginning stages of your business, probably for a while even, because you need to be developing your authentic message that is going to be relatable to your ideal client. But when you do get to that point, when you're ready to bring in support and help around your copywriting, then it's important that you set your copywriters up for success. You can't just send them samples of stuff that you've written and then cross your fingers and hope that what they come back is going to be new and fresh and yet still sound like you. I've heard of so many people who do that. They've invested hundreds, even thousands of dollars. They get the copy back and they shelve it. They're like, that doesn't sound like me at all. I would never say it that way. I've done that myself. I've hired somebody to help me with some content and didn't give them enough of a framework to really be successful. And they're going to try and be creative. They want to bring something new to the table for you. But what you need to do is set that copywriter up for success. Now, in the agency world, if you worked with a full service agency, that copywriter would get a creative brief that gives them everything that they need to be successful, to be able to deliver in the voice of your message, right? Well, you need to be able to provide some key information for your copywriter, whether you're working with an agency or not. And the key to doing that is you need to make sure you fully understand your message and can document a few key things for them that is going to set them up for success. You first need to make sure that you know what makes your message relatable. That means that you need to provide them all of the important information to understand about your ideal client, your target market, and who it is you're trying to reach and attract. Now, I'm going to say it again. I say this all the time. You have to be willing to own it and focus it, because trying to speak to too many people, your message just is not going to stand out and be clear enough. You need to make sure that you provide them, the copywriter, all the details about what makes your ideal client motivated, right? Those two main things. What is the biggest problem that they're having? Maybe the top few problems that they're having as it shows up for them. And what are the results, the benefits, the transformation that they're after as they want it? You need to make sure you understand that about your ideal client so you can communicate that to your copywriter. You also need to know what your value proposition is. What is it about you that is unique, that's going to help position you in the market in a way that your ideal client cares about as well, right? And then you need to make sure that you provide the copywriter all the things that make you one of a kind. Be really clear and give them your brand vocabulary and your brand personality. This is how you talk about what you do and how people should feel around you, right? What's the personality of your brand? You also need to define for them your brand position, what it is you want to be known for in the market, and anything that is your unique way of speaking about what you do. This is going to help your copywriter put your message into action and make sure that everything that they produce for you is reliably and consistently in alignment with your voice, with your message. And this will help them make sure that everything they create sounds just like you would talk about it, right? Now, if you're unclear about any of these aspects of your message, then you're probably struggling right now to write your own content, which is making you think about hiring out a copywriter. I want to make sure that you get really comfortable with this. You need to know how you're communicating with your market before your copywriter is going to have any chance of being successful at communicating with your market. My friend and client Valerie, after we worked together and she had her whole brand message usage guide, all of these elements defined for her brand, she created an entirely new website, an amazing quiz that speaks directly to her market, and she outsourced all of the copy to a copywriter. And she said that it was so much faster, which means so much cheaper, and it sounded exactly like what she was trying to communicate. She did very little, if any, editing of all of that content that came back from the copywriter because she set her copywriter up for success. Right? And that's what you need to be thinking about too. It is on you to fully develop your brand message to be able to communicate that to your copywriter and anyone else on your team that is going to be communicating for you. You have to make sure it is complete and all encompassing. You cannot skip this step. I see so many people that even when you're making 6 figures and beyond and you're working on scaling your business to 7 figures, I see so many business owners still struggling with how to talk to their ideal client. They can't plug into these formulas for these programs that they're in and coaches that they're working with because they don't fully understand their own message. And until you stop and do that work, you're going to be stumbling along. You're going to be, trying a whole bunch of things out. You're going to get a lot more frustrated. And your marketing is all about trying things and assessing what's working and fine tuning it. But you will accelerate that process when you take the time to fully build your messaging foundation. You'll be more confident. The copywriters that you hire will be able to embrace your brand and your message. And you'll both be sure that what they produce for you is in alignment and is exactly what your market needs to hear. So I would love to know from you, if you'll share with me in the comments, do you have your messaging fully documented in a way that you could give it to a copywriter or anyone on your team so that they could create content and have it sound just like you? And that message speaks to your ideal client, draws them in and attracts them to you because you're talking about the things that your ideal client cares about. Let me know in the comments. And if not, hey, that's okay. There's no shame in this. Everybody starts at that point. I'm not kidding when I tell you I work with 6-figure and up business owners who still struggle with this same problem too. It's easily fixable, but you have to be the one to fix it. And if there's anything I can do to support you with that, I'd love to be able to help. So let me know in the comments. Are you already outsourcing to a copywriter? And what do you have to give them to set them up for success? Until next time, don't settle for sounding like anybody else. Make sure you stand out, you get heard. Make your message roar. Bye for now.